National Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613. Everybody's familiar with what's been going on this last to say. We represent 5,000 electricians, 160 contractors over 58 counties. We are the hub for all things that deal with politics. We've invested $10 million into this state in the last 18 months. We're here for the long haul. So thank you for coming out. I welcome everybody here, and I want to introduce a good friend of mine, Miss Sandra Williams. This is the home of the IBEW and the Georgia Building Trades Academy. So I want to introduce Miss Sandra Williams. She's an executive board member for the Atlanta Labor Council. And again, thank you for coming out today.
Thank you, Kenny. Good morning, labor and community. I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my labor sisters and brothers. So I'm going to start with BAC, the IBEW, Georgia AFL-CIO, the RWDSU, the machinists are here, the operating engineers, AFSCME is here, CWA, again, the Teamsters, SMART, PACE, the painters, SEIU, and last but not least, my brothers and sisters from WorkSource Atlanta Board. They are here with us to mark this occasion. Mayor Andre Dickens has a vision for the city of Atlanta. And even in his first term, you know his vision is very clear. He reignited the midnight basketball, but in the same vein, he had a job fair at every midnight basketball occasion that we had so that young people or their parents could come in and see the opportunities that are available to all of us. We are a city of opportunity for all, developing a robust workforce to meet the growing needs of our expanding city, and that's essential. We are happy that labor is very much a part of that vision. Mayor Dickens is a strong supporter of labor and employment. He's shown his support for workers through his first budget and his initial investment in youth employment. He didn't just talk about the young men and young women that are water boys and girls. He is actively doing something about that. So I urge Mayor Dickens to continue to seek the input of organized labor. We look forward to this announcement and forward to meeting with the mayor early in January 2023. And without further ado, my friend, Mayor Andre Dickens. Thank you so much.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, labor. You know, you guys know this story. I tell it all the time. I'm a child of labor. My mom was CWA for 28 years, and so I was born into labor. And my first job at Kroger, I joined the union, UFCW, 1996. So I'm a mayor that has had a labor card. So my heart is with workers of this state and of this city. So it is my pleasure and honor to join all of you this morning at the Georgia Building Trades Academy's the Youth Build program in Atlanta. We just took an awesome tour looking at the things that these young people are learning, the trades they're learning, and they're learning them fast to be able to go out there into the workforce and make an honest living and be able to supply a much needed craft in our community. So first, I'd like to thank and acknowledge some of the workforce and labor partners that I'm seeing in the audience that are present here today. We have strong representation out here today, and that means a lot to me and to my administration. My chief of staff, Odie Donald, has been working tirelessly to bring this about. And also we're joined here by our Councilmember Antonio Lewis, who's a strong advocate for labor in all over the city, and he's over District 12. The support that we're seeing is critical for our city's workforce system. Our workforce partners that I've seen here today, of course, is WorkSource Atlanta, Invest Atlanta, as well as we mentioned IBEW, Acuity Brands is a partner that we have, AFSCME, PACE, SEIU, and I can't name all the letters that Sandra, she wrote them all down, but I'm seeing a few out here today, the builders unions that are present. Of course, Sandra Williams, my someone who I know and trust, the North Georgia Labor Council. And then we also have our labor advocate in the State House, which is William Bodie. Let's give William Bodie a round of applause. We also have a lot of our corporate partners that are here today to support our city. Your support is invaluable. Coca-Cola, Home Depot, Verizon. Am I missing anybody here?
No,
I think I got them. Huh? Who else? Oh, UPS? Oh, Teamsters. That's right, Teamsters. Man, once you start naming them, you got to hit them all. My bad. Teamsters, for sure. That's right. Well, thank you, corporate partners, for your support here. And so Atlanta is a city on the move, and we want to ensure that everyone, especially Atlanta's young people, are able to share in our growing prosperity. Throughout my administration, I've been committed to developing Atlanta's workforce development, and today I'm excited to announce plans to establish the first ever department that's focused on labor and employment services. This department will help us reshape the local workforce by expanding resources for employment and training, like the customized training that we've seen here today and the Summer Youth Employment Program. It's going to be about data and performance and apprenticeships and citywide support for fair and equitable labor practices throughout the city and through proper monitoring and enforcement. So next month, my administration will propose legislation to establish the Department of Labor and Employment Services, and that will then take effect with the new budget cycle that occurs in July. And so the department will be funded through federal funding that's allocated to WorkSource Atlanta, to American Rescue Plan Act dollars, and workforce development dollars that are set aside from our Gulch redevelopment deal. The department will ultimately oversee the city's labor efforts, federally funded programs, youth employment services, which includes the Mayor's Summer Youth Employment Program and the Mayor's Youth Leadership Institute. And they will help coordinate with the Department of Human Resources in the city and working with the various labor unions and city employees. This department will be comprised of a few different divisions within the department. These divisions will include an Office of Labor and Innovation, a Federal Programs Division, which will house the WorkSource Atlanta program, Amy, a Local Program Division, and a Youth Employment Service Division, which will house, of course, the Summer Youth Employment Program and the Mayor's Youth Leadership Institute, and finally, an Administration Division that's with Business Services. This move to establish the department builds upon earlier investments in local workforce development. In September, you all joined me in conjunction with Dr. Seals at the Atlanta Technical College, Atlanta Technical College and Acuity Brands, where we announced significant investments in local workforce development and training. The investments included $1.8 million to Atlanta Technical College's Center for Workforce Innovation, as well as a $50,000 contribution for the creation of a workforce development pilot program there, which includes $150,000 from Acuity Brands. So this year, the city also launched the Mayor's Summer Youth Employment Program with the goal of providing people from the ages of 14 to 24 opportunities to explore career interests and build valuable work-related skills. In its first year, this program met, well, let's say it exceeded our goal, and we had 3,500 applicants, 99% of whom met all eligibility requirements, and so we exceeded our goal of having 3,000 young people employed in our summer youth program. That deserves an honest round of applause. And they were paid, by the way. They got paid this summer, every last one of them. We had a great program for them so that they can have these opportunities. These investments, combined with the development of the Department of Labor and Employment Services, sends a clear message that the city of Atlanta stands with and stands up for workers. And we will continue to be a city of choice for workers. And so, like I said, we will be developing this department with the 3-person Office of Labor and Innovation, which will be led by our new labor liaison officer, Hamida Embry, who previously served as executive director of ASME Local 1644. We love Hamida, right? And so now, without further ado, I'd like to bring Ms. Embry up to speak about her new role within the city. Ms. Embry?
Greetings, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Dickens and Chief of Staff Donald, for having me here today. I am excited to join such an innovative and forward-thinking group of leaders. Coming from AFSCME, the largest public sector union in the nation, and having served as the financial secretary for the Atlanta North Georgia Labor Council that represents approximately 70 different unions in the greater Atlanta area, I understand the importance of collaboration and partnership between certain entities and labor organizations. Therefore, I am happy to be in this role, leading this 3-person Office of Labor and Innovation. First, I'd like to thank HR Commissioner Tarlia Smith for already partnering with this office by providing the resources to support this work. With the help of these resources, the Office of Labor will be in good shape to begin doing the good work serving as the mayor's representation in vital labor discussions. This office is tasked with 3 main goals. We will be working to advocate internally with negotiating with the city union partners. And an important delineation is that although the MOUs fall under the purview of the HR Commissioner, this office serves as the mayor's representation in those discussions. Additionally, this office will serve as an overseer of labor laws and enforcement at all levels throughout the city. Lastly, we will be advocating and negotiating fair wages outside of the City of Atlanta employees. As we begin to build out this office, and as the mayor and chief of staff begin to search for an executive director, I look forward to working with the teams across the city to ensure all employee needs are met. Mayor Dickens articulated a clear vision of creating a labor department, and today marks the beginning of bringing it into existence. Working under the transformational leadership of Mayor Dickens and with the guidance from the administration, we intend to give voice to working families and to ensure that there is dignity in all work. I would now like to pass this program over to Dr. Seals, who will speak on some of the programs that will be managed by the Department of Labor and Employment Services. Dr. Seals.
Well, good morning. And thank you to Mayor Dickens and his office for this opportunity. As you know, Atlanta Technical College has been serving the city of Atlanta and Fulton and Clayton counties and the entire metro region for more than 55 years. Our mission is workforce development and preparing students to be successful and competitive in a global economy. In my 6-year tenure at the college, we've focused on intentional strategic partnerships. Our Center for Workforce Innovation is an example of intentional public-private partnerships with the City of Atlanta and a lot of our corporate partners. The model of engaging our employer partners in curriculum review and development ensures that our competencies are aligned with their workforce needs, and it works. Our model has gained national and international recognition and is sought after as a best practice. Our key partners, like Georgia Power, Delta, Microsoft, IBEW, and so many others. Like the mayor, I won't get into naming them all because I'll get in trouble. But they have a presence on our campus, and they promote our training as they recruit employees. So Atlanta Technical College serves more than 6,000 students every year. We have a 99% job placement rate, and because of this intentionality with our partners, our individuals, our families, and our communities have increased opportunities, and our employers are able to grow and remain in the area. Our students have access to those high-demand careers, like the ones here at the Academy, all of the skilled trades, cybersecurity, logistics, so many others. And so it's my pleasure, and I'm so appreciative of the opportunity for Atlanta Technical College to be a partner with the City of Atlanta in support of Mayor Dickens as he continues to move Atlanta forward. Thank you.
All right. Now I'd like to open it up for questions. I see Pacey. I wanted to make sure I recognize Gina Pagnotti, and I saw Eloisa Clementich of Invest Atlanta, and I saw my Deputy Chief of Staff, Theo Pace, was also here, and a bunch of other, like I see the Teachers Union and everybody here. So are there any questions from the media? Yes. I was delighted to go on this tour. I've gone on similar tours when I was a council member, and now I have a new lens as mayor coming into this, being able to see these young people, seeing Youth Build in action. I've been to several Youth Build graduations. As a matter of fact, there are students here that are alums, and they remembered me speaking at their graduation. So coming back to see the new equipment, to see the new facility, how clean it is, and the very dedicated training staff, it does my heart good, but it also lets me know that we are moving Atlanta forward through having these opportunities for people to get great jobs through certifications.
Mr. Mayor, is there anything that needs to happen with the state labor department or the federal labor department in terms of what y'all are going to do? Do you need sign off on anything? Are you taking over certain duties for any agencies or anything like that?
Yeah, no, we don't need anything to be ratified or created in terms of any new legislation that goes between the feds and the state. But what we do need is what we've already established, which is a great relationship with them. So I speak to the federal Secretary of Labor, and I also have talked with the Georgia Department of Labor. They have been aware of these efforts, and now they are fully aware of where the city stands on making sure that we are additive to their efforts, and we're specific in what we want to do for this region. So together, we're going to do more because we are now focused on our labor and innovation, and we have our local labor leaders here, and that helps them with what they're trying to do. So we're partners.
Mayor Dickens, can you speak to the importance of making sure that you have the Atlanta's youth find valuable trade skills in addition to also higher education skills, and why that's an important value for you?
Yeah, I think some of what you're talking about is in relation to all the recent events. It's not lost on me that we stand today observing young people gaining valuable skills that will help them feed a family, fill a refrigerator, take their lives to the next level. And that's what we have to do, is show people promise and show them a future. And what Youth Build is doing with all these partners, we're doing this for young people, for younger people, because I don't want to say old people, for young people, for younger people. And this is a way for us to provide people self-agency. And when they have that, they may not embark upon some of these things that others are trying to influence them to do, whether that's gangs, whether that's violence, whether that's other things. And so when we highlight this today, and this is something that's been in the works for quite a while, and today is the day that we have culminated all of these activities to get us to where we are. When we highlight this, somebody's going to watch your news program today, and they're going to say, I want to learn that trade. They're going to see construction, they're going to see welding, electrical, and they're going to see that they have a career that gives them the opportunity to live a full, productive, safe, honest life. And that's my hope for doing this today.
I know this is like the first of probably many to come, so can you kind of speak to the future of this? What does it look like in the future? Will there be more departments or anything like that?
Yeah, so this is the newest department that I'll create, which is the Department of Labor. I created the Department of Transportation as a council member, and this is the Department of Labor, which has been on my mind as a council member and now as mayor. And so I don't plan to create new departments every Friday. It'd take a lot of work. But this one is necessary, and we're going to start with the offices that we mentioned today, led by Humida Embry, and the liaisons and things that we have with WorkSource Atlanta. And in the next budget cycle, which is FY23 budget, starts on July 1, it will have a stand-up, which will be a full department. So the next step is get the office going, start working, build out the budget for July 1 for us to have a full department.
Last question.
Mayor Dickens, how big is this budget that you're expecting to build? Is it going to be $3 million, $4 million?
6.2 million total. I wanted to get it right. Yeah, $6.2 million total. Plus 3.2 that comes from WorkSource. So it's 6.2 of the existing, the federal funds, et cetera, but then the WorkSource funds is 3.2. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we're almost 9 million. Thank you. That's all good. I knew it was a number.
Thank you. If I can have all my speakers to the left.
Okay.